So we just started out the second day and we're going to be out 4 days. We have had a very nice day yesterday and a super nice and warm, cozy evening in our tent camp. It's colder today, -25 or something like that, and the dogs are eager to go. They're making a really good job. And in my team I have one guy who is very often working a little bit too hard, and he needs special treatment, and that's Laban. His first seasons he worked, and he was working until he was totally out of energy. Now I use him as a leader dog because in the front of the team it seems like he pushing himself a little bit less hard, and yesterday he made a super good day. We are coming close to a road access now and then during the tour, so if we get issues I can call to Stina and she come with the car and we can bring him to the road and she bring him back home. But this is an issue when you have dogs. Sometimes you get an individual that don't really are mentioned for this work, or they're working too hard, or they're not interested in working, and then we had to try to figure out what is the issue with him. And like now with Laban, he liked to work, he loved to work, but he have no limits. So he give a little bit too much of himself. He don't fit for us. We will try to find a home to someone who make shorter distance or not making as a professional long distance, something like that. We will see. I hope, I cross my finger, I really hope that with some food, special treatment, that he will be fine here, because he really enjoy the life on the trail like me. Just before we had lunch, one of the guests started feeling ill, and you can get the bad feeling like here, and almost feeling that she wanted to throw up or something like that. That comes sometimes when you have crossed a big lake and not moving, and that was the case this time. It could come from dehydration, but this time it comes from getting cold. The only thing to do when that comes to you, because it comes to you now and then, is to drink tea, coffee, water and start moving. Not drinking cold, drinking something warm, and start walking, start helping the dogs, start doing things. And that's difficult because the only thing you want to do is actually to sit down or being passive, not doing anything. But then you just get colder and colder. And if you haven't feel that feeling before, it will probably be totally new for you, and then you wouldn't feel all right at all. It feels really strange. I've seen it many times. We're coming closer and closer to the cabin, and we've been driving in a super beautiful kind of sunset-ish sunset thing, I don't know. Still doing fine. We are on the main trail, snowmobile trail from Jokkmokk to Kvikkjokk. Ah, lovely. We have reached a small cabin close to the small river, and we have had dinner and the dog have food, and it start getting really warm and cozy in the cabin right now. I'm going to give the dogs some jackets, and then I'm looking forward to my sleeping bag. I'm really looking forward to my sleeping bag, as usually. So some dogs get the jacket, some dogs don't get the jacket. There is dogs like Jesse who really enjoy his jacket and he never destroy it. Then there is other dogs that if you give them a jacket, they eat the jacket. And of course you try now and then, but you try in moments when it's cold and the dogs are tired, because then it's a bigger chance that they actually like the jacket. There is old school, dog mushing old school, and that is that Arctic dogs don't need jacket. I'm not a part of that old school. I'm the part of the school that do what you can to make the life for the dog as good as possible. Now I'm going back to the cabin and will enter my sleeping bag. So continue filming tomorrow. See you tomorrow, guys.
I know, but where's my tea?
It's a new day and now we start dressing out the dogs after breakfast. Very nice.
No.
This guy, Gandalf, yeah, he's here. My monster dog. My monster. Oh, it's a fight. It's a fight with you all the time. Gandalf. It's a fight.
You're so nice. You're so nice. Yeah.
So, Gandalf is actually a super good dog, but so much energy. I told you that before. I really not looking forward to put the harness on him right now. He's calm, normally not. Very soon he starts jumping and make all dogs screaming. Today it's warmer and it have coming some fluffy snow on the trail. So I think today we had to look for the feet of the dog, because this kind of cold snow can make snowballs between the toes of the dog. So then we had to keep an eye on that. Everybody okay? Now the really last moment the dogs turn crazy, of course. But now we have to start. Stanna! Stanna! Ja, ja. the start, you want them to go slowly because so much things can happen during the start that you don't want to happen. As you see, the first team is okay behind me. And maybe the second. And then I don't see more. I stop here and check. Stanna. Or just make a quick check. So everybody's okay. Richard is okay. UK is okay. Now we're waiting for Switzerland. Yes, sir. Nej! Aja! Oh! Stanna! That's not good. So we actually had a free team just recently. Are they good? But dogs and people are okay. But that's what I'm a little bit worried for during the start, is that some team crash. So beautiful now. So beautiful. It's getting a little bit darker. I don't know if it's because of the clouds or we are also a little bit late from the lunch and everything. So, but we're not in a hurry. Stress takes you nowhere in the bush, as they say. We're just traveling around here. Laban, one of my leader dog, the one that have been so tired sometimes, he's doing super fine. I feed him more or less every hour now, little bit. And it seems like that is a medicine for him. He just needs to eat much more regular than all the other dogs. That's really great. I like that dog a lot. And when I say I like him a lot, I also like the other dogs a lot. But there is sometimes a special thing with some dogs, especially if they have some issue problem, then I get at least more involved in solving problem, and yeah, then you come closer to the dog. Now we have arrived to the tent and we take off the harness of the dogs and park them on the chain, and then we had to start preparing dog food water up in the tent and making fire and fetching water and yeah, all that things. The normal routines. The dogs have done well today, but I have one dog that's Mikey that he's limping a little bit. Hey Mikey! You can see that there is something with him and he have an issue with the wrist, and I feel it warm but not swallow, so
Work it out.
Way more.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about this as well.
Ah.
Oh shit. Sorry. I should not swear on TV. People prefer it a bit more liquid.
And then when I get older,
So now we decided that Mike is not really okay with one of his wrists, and we have a possibility to bring him out. So Stina's here with the snowmobile and taking Mike back home to the kennel so he can rest. So tomorrow I drive with one dog less. He could have been in my sled tomorrow, or he actually maybe is okay for running, but when we have the opportunities we don't take any risks, so then we send him back home. He's not lifting the leg a little bit strange, you see, and that's why he was not limping while driving. Du ser, han stöder inte alltså. Mikey! You see that one he take the pressure on, and that one he take less pressure on. You can see the difference between the feet. But he's not really having any pain. I have checked him and we feel nothing. Now Stina checked too. Finally Annie find a snowmobile. She loves snowmobiles. Yes, say. Mikey, Mikey. You've never been in a snowmobile sled before?
No.
But you've been on a dog trailer behind the car, so yeah, you drive slowly. You see he laying down, making his bed directly. Oh, go home. Farväl. You don't really see things directly when you're driving the dog because the muscles are warm. It's when the dogs get cold you see the most things that going on. If they have a stiff muscle or they have a wrist that are a little bit sore or something. Now it's time for me to go to bed. We have had some elk stew and coffee. I drink coffee all the time. It's cloudy. It's no northern light. You see the light on the sky over there? That's light pollution from Jokkmokk. So reflection from the light in Jokkmokk. Reflection on the sky. On the clouds. And you can imagine Jokkmokk is a small village and we get that light pollution. If you're living in a city you get much more. So Jokkmokk is a very dark corner of the world. If you look at light pollution, you have maps for light pollution. Check them and you will see that this is a dark corner of the world. Now good night, see you tomorrow. New day, new trails, new adventures. Or actually not adventure, new experience. We have a blue sky and very beautiful sunlight today. You see it in the forest behind me. Really nice weather. Looking if I could see some elks or reindeer. It's some reindeer tracks here, and we saw some fresh elk tracks also today. So there is animals in the area, Stina, even if it's not a lot. I don't know if it's imagination, but it must be imagination, but I had a little bit of feeling that the sun starts warming a little bit. It's the beginning of February right now, and that's when it happened. That's when the sun comes back. December we don't see so much sun here, and then in February when the sun is back, it's like you are reborn again. Difficult to explain for you who have the sun all the time, but if you have living in the north for a while, or if you have visited the north during the darkest period for a longer time, then you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I enjoy the sun so much. So now I'm back home again, and I have been driving the guests up to the hotel with the minivan, and now I have all the sleds here, all the gear that I take care of, and I also had to prepare the dog food and start feeding the dog and pick up the dog shit, cleaning the kennel. It's still some dogs back home. Stina is up at the dog camp, and I also had to take the snowmobile there and with some equipment to her. We had a nice tour and good weather and all that things. Nice guests, and I really hope I will see Heather and Richard again, and I really hope also I will see Karen and Alex again, and we will see, maybe in the future. And to all of you who are watching this video and subscribing and thumbs up and our Patreon and all that, thanks for supporting the channel. See you in the next video. Now the shower is waiting for me after some work. See you. Ciao.